Hello and welcome. Thinking about building a website can feel huge. Kind of like you've decided to climb a mountain, but you don't have a map. It just seems so complicated and, honestly, a little intimidating. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be? In this explainer, we're going to break WordPress down step by step and make it simple.
So you've got this great idea, right? A business you want to launch, a portfolio to show off, or maybe a story you just need to share. You know you need a website, an online home for it. But then you start thinking about code and servers and all that tech stuff, and yeah, it can feel like a total headache. You're not alone in feeling that. But the good news? There's a tool that's literally designed to do all that heavy lifting for you. So let's get right into it. The absolute best way to think about WordPress is like this. It's a powerful factory for making web pages. You bring in the raw materials, your words, your pictures, your videos, and this factory assembles it all into a beautiful working website. All it needs is an address and a piece of land to build on, which we call a domain and hosting. That power and flexibility, that's exactly why it runs something crazy like half the entire internet.
Okay, so before we even fire up that factory, you've got one really big decision to make. And this choice, it's going to set the stage for your entire website journey.
So you're going to see two different flavors of WordPress, .com and .org. And here's the easiest way to think about it. WordPress.com is like renting a fully furnished apartment. It's super easy, all the maintenance is handled for you, but you can't exactly knock down walls or do any major renovations. WordPress.org, on the other hand, is like owning your own house. You're responsible for the upkeep, sure, but you have total freedom to build, customize, and add anything you can possibly imagine. So for total beginners who want simple, .com is a fantastic start. For anyone who wants full control and ownership, .org is the way to go.
All right, once you've made that big choice, we get to the really fun part, deciding what your website is actually going to look like. This is your digital storefront, your first impression, and WordPress makes it really easy to manage.
The first thing you need to know about your site's appearance is the theme. Simple as that. A theme is basically a single package that controls the entire visual style of your website. The layout, the colors, the fonts, it really sets the whole vibe.
Think of it like a professionally designed skin or a template that you can just pop onto your site with a single click. It's honestly the fastest way to go from a totally blank page to a stunning, professional-looking website without having to write a single line of code. It's kind of magical.
So a great-looking site is an awesome start, but a truly great website also needs to do things, right? It needs special features. It needs to be interactive. It needs, well, I like to call them superpowers. And this is the other half of the magic formula. And it's so simple, but so powerful. If themes control the look, then plugins control the function. Just think of them as apps for your website. Every single plugin you install adds a brand new capability, a new feature, a new superpower.
And the power of plugins is just immense. Seriously, you want to sell products from your website? Yep, there's a plugin for that. Need a way for people to contact you? There's a plugin for that. Want to block spam, boost your Google rankings, add a beautiful photo gallery, or pull in your social media feeds? You guessed it, there's a plugin for all of it. This is how you make your website truly your own.
Okay, before we actually build, there's one last little concept we need to get down, how your content is organized. You've got pages and you've got posts. Pages are for your permanent static stuff. Think your About Us or Contact page. They don't really change. Posts, on the other hand, are for timely updates, like blog articles that show up in chronological order. Knowing that difference is really the key to keeping your site organized.
Okay, concepts are down. Now for the really exciting part. We're going to lay out the actual roadmap, the step-by-step path to take your website from just an idea in your head to a real, live thing on the internet. And don't worry, we'll talk about how to keep it safe too.
Believe it or not, the whole process really breaks down into 5 straightforward stages. First, you get your web address, that's your domain, and the plot of land to build on, that's your hosting. Next, you install WordPress itself, which these days is usually just a single click. From there, it's all the fun stuff. You pick your theme for the look, you add your plugins for the superpowers, you write your first pages, and then you hit launch. It's a clear path from A to Z.
So, now your amazing new website is built and live on the internet. But just like a new car or a new house, it needs a little bit of simple upkeep. Now don't worry, this isn't some huge scary chore. It's just a few basic maintenance tasks that keep your site running smoothly and, most importantly, securely.
And here are the essentials. Backing up your site on a regular basis, that's your ultimate safety net, your insurance policy. Keeping everything updated, WordPress, your theme, your plugins, that is the #1 thing you can do to keep it secure. The rest are just good habits, Use strong passwords and clean out any old plugins you're not using anymore to keep things fast and safe. Now, you might stumble across this term, security keys and salts, and think, whoa, that sounds way too technical for me. But here's all you need to know. Think of it as the super complex, unpickable lock on your website's front door. It's a security feature that works completely in the background, automatically scrambling login information to make it incredibly hard for anyone to break in. It just works, and it keeps you safe.
And this right here, this really gets to the heart of it all. Once you understand these basic building blocks, the platform itself, the themes for the look, the plugins for the function, you start to realize you have a system that can create pretty much anything you can dream up. I mean, from a simple personal blog to a massive online corporation.
So let's do a quick recap of the most important takeaways. Remember, WordPress is your web page factory. Your first big choice is between the all-in-one simplicity of .com and the total freedom of .org. And that magic formula is so simple. Themes control the look and plugins add the function. And finally, building a site isn't some scary technical maze. It's a clear, step-by-step process that you can totally do.
You have the map now. You understand the pieces, you see the path, and you know the possibilities are endless. You are officially equipped to take that idea you have and turn it into a reality. So the only question left is, what are you going to build?